Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Um, now, do you hear me? Hello? Hold on. Hello, 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 hello. So, right now, for hello, hello, hello. Okay. Um, yeah, you can message me in chat or in Discord if you want to ask anything. Is the audio good now? Okay. Um, so right now, we've been going sideways since here, like 2 days ago, and these are just scam moves to shake out people on leverage. So I think probably just keep consolidating. I don't know how long. Might be just a day, like to the end of here, or can form some kind of like larger structure here and just like keep going like this. Um, but depending on how this looks, if we start doing something like this, I think we can break up. And if we go above like 13k, I think we can go to 20k pretty quick at this point, because right now the high time frame, um I I was bearish before, right? And I was looking for down here. But the thing that changed was fundamentals. Now, because of all the stuff, like gold is pumping. Here's the gold chart. You can see kind of like ran up with Bitcoin before, and now it is as well, and it went down with it. Now it's breaking out from it's like 1375 level, like a very long consolidation, because of whatever the trade war or whatever Trump said, or I don't know, some global economic stuff. And for the same reason, the Chinese yuan has pumped. I mean, it broke its peg or whatever. Their currency is worth less, and you can see it broke like a very long held level, and so I wasn't trading back then, but people apparently once the yuan started pumping like this, which was a pretty significant move, this translated over to Bitcoin pumping. So if it will continue like this, maybe Bitcoin can actually pump, because that's the real use case, which is digital gold, protection of your value. So I'll have to see how that plays out, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, like in Hong Kong as well, and people want to protect their money, and that's clear, you know, in gold and Bitcoin. So if we look at like the monthly, it's pretty strong right now because we broke out above this level, and if it closes anywhere above here, it's very bullish. And then once it gets above, you know, 13 or 14, new highs are looking likely, and the cycle's continuing up. Like the 2-week as well, you can see from the volume, you know, there's not much here. There was not much going on here. Most of the volume consolidation was below us now, so clear path up, same kind of structure here. And you can see that the 2-week cycle it was cycling down, but now it's turning back up very bullishly. Kind of what happened previously on the run up. Yeah, weekly as well. If we're closing above this same level 11.5, like here, continuation is being expected by me. You can see the cycle here is low and can turn up and then push us higher. And then 3-day, we had a bottom here, and I mean that's been a pretty clear buy for the last, like, all in here, and recently as well. So I mean, I should have been buying here, but that was my mistake. I thought it was going lower, but things have changed, and uh, I mean, it can do something like this because that's what we were expecting before. Like maybe like this was possible, um, but we'll have to see and play it out because yeah, if we start breaking above 13, there's no resistance. And you can see this is turning up now, so there's room. And then the daily, I was saying if the daily is closing like this, it's engulfing, like with the same thing on the higher time frame, so it's already happening. We can just get continuation, and it's high, but it can stay high for a long time. And I was looking at the cloud, it's kind of like crossing bullishly here. I mean, like bounced off, and now this is support, which is like 10.8 or 11, which is where I would buy if somehow we broke down from here. See, we also have some volume profile stuff here. And then as we get lower, we keep getting like bearish turning over of low time frames, but it will just correct and then pump back up. Like you can see the 12-hour was high, it was high, and then kind of corrects down, and now it can just turn up again and keep going. And like look at this 4-hour, I mean, pretty bullish at this point. I have these levels drawn before, which is like level 5, but we kind of already tested that, so if we go back again, I'll probably just go up. This is like our bigger triangle pattern. And we break down, and then now we're going up to the midline of this, and if we break this midline, the pattern busts, and we can just keep going. It's like a bear trap. And the same thing keeps happening on lower time frame. Yeah, here I have drawn at 12k because we're gonna bounce off it a couple times. And we have this line, right, which is what we're kind of stopping at now. But after that, there's not much to stop us. You can see the you have like this kind of, which is a ascending broadening wedge, which is supposed to break down, right? But whenever Bitcoin draws bearish patterns, it usually breaks up kind of backwards in that way. And you can see on the lower time frames, we kept having like cycle was high and bear divs, bear div. It would correct down, and then it would bust and trap everyone and liquidate people, and that's what we've been doing the whole time. So I mean, I caught a couple like local tops, but they're just bear traps as fuel. So right now, same thing happened, right? So we got the long here, and if there's people who got caught shorting here, probably, I mean here as well, and if we keep going like this, they're getting liquidated, their fuel for the next rally. Yeah, so that's my take on Bitcoin right now. Like we have this larger structure you can draw like this into towards like the end of the month. So we could fill in like this and then have some kind of larger move out of here. And this is also when the CME futures will expire again. So that could push us down to the lower levels where I would love to buy, or could fuel the breakout to 20k again or higher. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing right now. I'm comfortable in my long to hold that, and then if it goes lower than that, can try buying again. Keeps going lower, we can reconsider. But the trend is obviously pretty bullish, and it's on fundamentals, so you can't really do anything about it. Like if there's some more bullshit, more trade war bullshit, we can just get a 3k candle. And alts look pretty fucking terrible. This was my yeah. Wait. Okay. This is ETH. You can see we're in like this huge volume node. It was consolidation in 2016, and if we're breaking this, it just keeps dumping. It starts dumping below like 175 or 185. There's like literally no support, and I'd look at 0.01 for the first bounce, because this is where we were consolidating before. There's a bit of a volume node in this area. We were consolidating before we broke out, so we'll probably get a reaction there. But if that doesn't hold, it's basically going to zero, because there's nothing else until back here. And if ICOs are just going to keep dumping, there's no support. It's just going to keep going down, and it's going to bring the entire alt market down with it, because ETH is basically a representation of the alt market. And you can see historically it's always like a 70% drop here from the top down to here, and then as well from like the breakout point, the breakdown point, to the capitulation low. So that would put us at 0.01. So I'd consider longing ETH versus BTC around here, or in front of this level, and maybe get a good reaction off. Because imagine we were to buy ETH at 0.011, we could get a bounce back up to here, which would be like 50%, 60%, pretty good. But yeah, we're looking for a real capitulation candle, like some real minus 30% in a day. And at the rate we're currently going, it looks like the thing that's going to cause that is Bitcoin going to new highs. Or at least to 20k. And it's the same for other alts. I was looking to buy Link around like around here. or another bounce, another like 20% bounce or bigger. Um, that would be a nice buy because the support is definitely not going to hold. Um, so maybe, you know, in front of here as a good level would be a decent buy. Um, and then ADA as well is down so much. Wrong chart. Yeah, but you can see it can go lower because there's support around here, which is where it broke out from when it originally got listed, which is around 350 sats, which would give us about like 20 or 30% more down. But yeah, it's just bleeding out. Need to see some capitulation to touch alts. At this point, it just looks like trash. Ren, I'd like to buy it in this green box like before, and then we can get a nice little maybe 15-20% scalp. But probably long term, we'll go back down to like here, which is where people bought it, where the supply is. This, I don't know if this would hold, probably just a small bounce if it holds at all. And same thing with BNB. I mean, this whole run was ridiculous. There's nothing backing this. There's no support, so I'll probably go back to where we consolidated before, around here, and then consider buying it. This is where I bought it before. So it'd be cool to get an entry around there. I mean, like you can see, the shit is really ridiculous, but I'll expect CZ will keep propping it up, but the real support's like down here, which is 90% down. And then I'm still holding FET. I don't think it's gonna do this Rocket Man. That might have been it for IEOs, just because it's kind of they got pulled up by Matic and Harmony getting talked about by Coinbase, potentially listed, but they're quite low, and I mean it's but it's the same thing. They all alts look like trash. I only bought it because it dipped below ICO price, which was here. So it was a free money trade. I might close it at break even or just keep my stop where it was, because it's still profitable no matter, even if I close it here. Can look at, I made a little thing. Yeah. Yeah, you can see all these IEOs are clearly extremely correlated. So when they start going down, they'll all go down together and they just go up together. I mean, if you're really active about it, you can play them off each other. Like if one starts breaking out, the others will follow. But they look as bad as all the other alts. And like Matic is the main one. And this looks pretty bad. Like I wouldn't be buying this until like maybe back down here, because yeah, I mean it pumped a lot, so you expect a pretty big retrace. Yeah, it doubled. So probably back around here unless Coinbase officially announces that they are listing them, which I think they will, but it won't be immediate, so can expect more downside with the fuckery going on. And then CME, pretty interesting. We formed a new gap, which is now here, and we filled the old gap that was over here. Pretty funny. So now we have a new gap at like 10.8 to 11, which at this point seems like where people will put their bids. So this is now our support, because people see the gap and they think the gap will be filled, so they put their bids in the gap. We'll have to see. There'll probably be some fuckery on Friday when it closes again, and then over the weekend, we'll have to see where price will go, and then on the open, because so far it's been like pretty extreme. They'll send it one way before the close, and then as soon as it closes or after during the weekend, it will go the opposite way, and then from the open, wherever it goes after that kind of sets the trend. My friend made this new tensor charts alternative. It's in beta now, so you can't use it, but it's pretty cool. It looks better, and it has a better visual representation. It's pretty laggy right now, but you can see like they're both on BitMEX, and this one is it on this one there's two views. You see, one's like high time frame, one's low time frame, and this one's consolidating both of them into one chart. But so far, okay, I think it's like some kind of memory leak. Okay, but so far the BitMEX tensor chart has been very helpful for identifying support and resistance. Like it was really packing up down here at 10.2 and 10.4, and then there was a lot of resistance here, and we are like bouncing off these levels exactly. And then same thing here, there was a whole bunch of support, and then it's so laggy. But it looks really cool, so it should be cool when it's done. So right now we have like 12.2 is our resistance, and kind of bids below us. And then Bitstamp's been interesting. Oh look, they just put walls below us here, and before they were like pushing price down with the walls on Bitstamp, and then that caused the dump, and then the walls vanished, and then after that, that's when we pumped after these walls vanished. Coinbase has like 12.6 as a resistance, and then like 12.8 to 13k as well. And then there's been a lot of walls on Binance. It seems like whenever they get put, they're always getting run through. So there's sell walls at 12k, 12.5. Maybe we just go through them. They're very fake. I wouldn't take any opinion based on the Binance walls. And then our open interest has been steadily rising, which usually means something's gonna happen, something big's gonna happen. You can see like here, steadily rising, and then it marked up huge. And then once it started going parabolic, that's when you get the new candle. So steadily rising, So far, every time we've gone over a billion open interest, we've nuked down after that. So we'll have to keep watching. But on low time frames, if you're watching open interest, like the whole pump up, people open interest would start rising as it's pumping, and then they would squeeze the shorts and it would drop back down. Like, look, it's rising, 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 and then squeeze here as well. Rising, rising, rising. The shorters are capitulating. But this time, there was no drop in open interest, and then it kept rising up here. So it's actually longers who are probably FOMOing this, and then they nuke it, and you can see it resets. And then same thing here, like rising, rising, rising. People longing the dip, and then it gets nuked back. So, and then people are probably shorting here again, and then up rocket, down rocket. Everybody's getting fucked. You can see it's rising again. Pretty interesting. Broke out of my Ripple triangle, and then back in it. Now it's a bigger triangle. Yeah, so I wouldn't buy alts. Like, you can look at ETH and say, oh, this looks alright, but it's like moving at a third of the speed that Bitcoin is. So you're just longing Bitcoin with less reward, and at some point, if the ratio starts nuking, it's just gonna dump hard. So I don't think this is a good long, unless alt starts showing life. You're better off just trading Bitcoin, because that's what everybody's interested in right now. So it has the pump power. So yeah, we'll have to see if this trend line can just keep holding, which is probably unlikely. But if we start doing like this, you can just break up, and then after, like, I don't know, 13, 13.2, probably this, whatever this local high is, at that point we're going to higher than 14, maybe the 16. So yeah, just looking for longs, either along this trend line, or be patient and wait for this trend line to break, and maybe you can get a better one down here. Right now my stop is like here where I bought, and then I would look to buy in this zone. I wouldn't FOMO anything above 12, because clearly you're just getting wrecked by Arthur if you do that. Everybody wants to buy up here. You're just gonna end up selling it down here, buy high, sell low. So yeah, either try to buy on the trend line or wait. The OI data, it is kind of tradable, because if you see, like, on the move up, it's like when OI starts building and we're going up, it means people are shorting. So we just keep squeezing, and as it builds more, it's like squeezing people out. So you can trade it on, it's kind of tradable if you're watching it on high time frames. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you have it open on like even the 1 minute as price is moving, if it's moving quickly, you can see what's going on. Like right here, it's really building because people are like FOMOing. They're like they think we're going even higher, and that's when the nuke happens. If it ever goes parabolic, kind of like in this kind of shape, that means people are FOMOing in, and there's going to be a big break. Same thing, kind of. You can see parabolic breaks down, and then as it builds, they keep liquidating shorters. Yeah, and then as well on the high time frame, if it starts going parabolic like this, you know something's gonna happen. So we'll keep watching. Right now, it just seems like they are, yeah, trapping people with FOMO in and then keep nuking it. But seems like maybe to fill lungs, because like this move, this move, like filling lungs kind of, and then especially here, it should have bounced here. This little extra part was just like they're filling some lungs in. So yeah, it looks bullish to me to see like this again. Keep seeing this or breaking out, but wouldn't be shorting in front of these levels, instead buying these levels better until this trend line breaks. Yeah. Anyone have any questions? Working on this like little indicator. It's a bit of like a crossover, so it shows you trend. And then maybe add some more logic to it based on like cycles and volume. I'm not sure, I'm just working with some ideas, but you can see um, the market's been trending pretty hard. Whenever it's red, trend is down. If it's green, trend is up. It's pretty clear representation. A bit lagging here, but pretty good from here down to here, and then you're long from here. Work on that. If there's anything I can add to that, maybe give it to you guys. Works on low time frames too. Oh damn, here we go. Okay, yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Good luck with your trades.